Good morning, children. So, in the previous class, we discussed about resistance, that is, the hindrance caused by the material to the movement of electrons, or what we say is flow of charge is obstructed by the material, and that property is called resistance. And also, we have seen that resistance depends on temperature, length, and area of cross section. So, love, let us see a few activities like to verify whether this is true or not. So, in your textbook, an activity is given for temperature and resistance. So, in the activity, they said that first we take an open circuit with a bulb being connected. That means there is no battery connected to it. At that time, check the resistance with the multimeter between the two terminals of the bulb. That means whatever the wire that is there inside the bulb, filament wire, so that filament offers some resistance. Note down the resistance when without a battery in the connection. After noting down, now connect the battery. What happens? Bulb glows. After certain time, you note down the resistance of the filament of the bulb. If you see the difference between the resistors, you can see that here in this particular case, uh, resistance is increasing with in case of second case. That means when the battery is connected and after certain time of glowing. What happens after certain time of glowing? Bulb not only emits light energy but also heat energy, is it not? Filament gets heated. Because of heat, what is happening? Temperature increases. So when the bulb is open, means when the circuit is open, no current and no heat is produced. When this is closed, current is there. That means there will be a supply of the current. As the current is on, you can see that the bulb glows. As it is glowing, heat is produced. Because of the heat, temperature of the filament is increased. And if you observe the readings of the resistance before, that is when it is open and when it is closed, we can observe that when it is closed, the resistance is increased. Means resistance in the second case is higher. That means it is increasing with increase in temperature of the material. So this is the proof that resistance depends on temperature. Okay, so take a screenshot of this and please make a note, copy the notes, and you have to give the description. Whatever I said, like take a bulb and get it connected and let the circuit be open. Then take the resistance or measure the resistance with the multimeter. So all those statements must be written just before you draw all this. Okay, right. So move on to the next one. Nature of the material. So here the same condition again. Instead of the bulb, what we are going to take is rods or the wires, metal wires or rods of different metals. Maybe one time copper, one time aluminum, one time small iron wire. So something like that. You are going to take either rods or wires, right? So that is going to be your device or the target for the current, right? And now here what extra thing you are doing is ammeter. So now you know that as the current is flowing more, in the sense resistance offered is less, yes or no? Because resistance means it is the one which uh, obstructs the current. If the current is high means obstruction is less, that means resistance is less. So here we are going to make ammeter readings, take ammeter readings. So what happens? With every material take one reading. So with one material take the ammeter reading, then replace the material and then you will get the other reading. So if you observe, then the readings of the ammeter are different for different materials. Which means if the current is different, means resistance offered is different, because what you are giving the battery is same and the wires of connection are same. Only thing is here you are changing the material. With the material, if the current is changing, means resistance offered is different. So thus this proves that resistance depends on nature of the material. Okay. So take a screenshot of this. Right. Next, let us move on to the next one. Length of the conductor and resistance. Suppose if you have taken iron spokes of different lengths, right? So one small spoke, same thickness should be same, lengths are different, 1 2 3 4. Suppose you are taking a 4 different lengths, so all the time, so same again, battery, ammeter and key are there, and in between the 2 points you can connect different spokes of different lengths. So for every length you take a reading in the ammeter. So when you observe the readings, you can see that reading in ammeter is decreased as the length is increased. That means ammeter reading is decreased, means current is decreased. When current is decreased, means resistance is increased, is it not? Current is decreased implies resistance is increased. So that means with an increase in the length, resistance is also increased. That means resistance is directly proportional to length. So this is another conclusion we can make from this activity. So take a screenshot of this. Another activity to know the resistance in case of cross-sectional area. Cross-sectional area means thickness of the rods or the wires is changing. See, now we are going to take wires of same length, okay, same length, but thickness is different. This is very thin, this is a little bit thick, and this is thickest. So all these three are taking. So here in the same circuit again, like with the battery, ammeter and the key connected in series. Now here between the points you are going to connect this iron rods or wires of different thickness, same length. So for every single wire you take a reading in ammeter. And when we observe the readings of ammeter are increasing with the increase in thickness. That means the more thicker the wire is, you can see that current flowing is more. Implies if the current is increasing, right? Here current is increasing, that means resistance is decreasing. That means resistance is decreasing with increase in thickness. Is it not? So meter reading is increasing, means current is increasing. When will the current increase? When resistance decreases. That means we can conclude that resistance is decreasing with increase in thickness. That means resistance is inversely proportional to area of cross section. Resistance is inversely proportional to area of cross section. Okay, take a screenshot of this. So here activities are the same kind. The only thing you have to remember is in first case you have to talk about heat, that is temperature variation. Hence you are taking a bulb. In all the cases you are taking materials or the wires or the rods, right? In that different materials. Then the next one you have taken different lengths, and now you have taken different thicknesses. So take a screenshot. So now thus we are going to discuss that. So specific resistance, the same is resistivity. We can call in any manner. So here we have already seen that R is directly proportional to L. R is inversely proportional to A. Right? And that means R is directly proportional to L by A. Okay, so R is equal to rho L by A. What is rho? This is constant of proportionality. This constant of proportionality is called specific resistance or resistivity, and whose unit is ohm meter. Ohm means it's almost like a hat symbol. Ohm meter is the unit. Okay, now how to define resistance? Now resistivity is defined as a resistance offered by unit area per unit length. Why? Because see, from this you are getting, this implies resistivity rho is equal to R into A, cross multiplication by L. That means resistance offered by unit area per unit length of the wire. So that is how we define resistivity, right? So therefore, and this resistivity varies with temperature but constant for given material. But this is constant for a given material. So when you define specific resistance or resistivity, it is very common that we discuss about conductivity. Conductivity. Conductivity means inverse, reciprocal of resistance. Reciprocal of resistance. That means L by RA. Reciprocal of resistance. So that is, what is the unit of this? Reciprocal of that. That is mho per meter. What we call it as? Mho per meter. So this is the unit. Unit of conductivity or specific conductance, which is defined as reciprocal of resistivity or specific resistance. So what is the unit? Mho per meter. It is ohm meter. Ohm inverted, you will be getting mho. Mho per meter. Okay, children? Or you can also write it as ohm inverse, meter inverse. You can also write it as ohm inverse, meter inverse. Right? Okay. Take the screenshot of specific resistance or resistivity. Right. Another activity. Okay. This is the last activity we are going to deal for today. So, in all the activities we have seen, we changed the materials, right? And now here we are going to change the batteries. Right? Maybe we are changing the voltage of the battery, or you can say that first time we'll take only one small battery or cell, then you are going to add one more, then you are going to add one more. So what is happening here is voltage is changed. That means whatever the input you are giving, that input voltage is changed. So in the circuit, suppose you have taken some iron spoke, okay, and now you have taken a battery and an ammeter and a key in series, okay. So now here across this, now you change the battery. First time you are taking some battery of voltage V1, suppose, okay. Alright, so therefore now here potential difference you will be writing it as V1. Now at this point, now find out the ammeter reading, that will be I1. Okay, then afterwards you find out V1 by I1. Second time what you are going to do is change the battery here. Then you will find out the voltmeter reading V2. Okay, so you are changing the battery here for the second time. That means you are increasing the battery value. Here you are finding the voltage. So previously it was V1, now it is V2. Now find the current in the meter, that is I2. Now we are finding V2 by I2. Like that, repeat the experiment and fill the table here and find out the value of V by I always. To your surprise, right, when the temperature of the spoke is not changed, right, when the temperature of the iron spoke is not changed, till then you can see that V by I is constant. That means V1 by I1, whatever you are getting in the first case, is of course equal to V2 by I2, of course is equal to V3 by I3. That means V by I remains constant. So what is the meaning of this? Right? That means V by I is constant. Means mathematically we say that V by I is equal to some constant K, or V is equal to K into I, is not? Mathematically speaking, this being the constant. That means V is directly proportional to I. Right? Or I is directly proportional to V. So therefore, we can say that always potential difference between the ends of the conductor and current I, both are proportional to each other. So hence, whatever the potential difference that is there is directly proportional to the current passing through a particular material yet constant temperature. That means here what is the material you have taken? Iron spoke. That means here always potential difference existing between these 2 points is directly proportional to the current passing through them. Or rather you can say that the current is directly proportional to potential difference. Okay, so at constant temperature, what we call it as yet constant temperature, and that is called Ohm's law. And what is that called? Ohm's law. So it is something like, you can also say Ohm's law verification. You can also say this activity as Ohm's law verification, where V is directly proportional to I at constant temperature. This is how you mean to say, mathematically expressing it, right? A long standing line, and at the base you are going to write temperature at constant temperature. So, and then now V by I is equal to constant, and this constant what we call as, right, R being the resistance. So V by I is equal to R implies V is equal to IR. So this is the relationship. When is this possible? Only at constant temperature. This is the limitation of Ohm's law. This is the limitation of Ohm's law. V is equal to IR at constant temperature. If temperature is changing, this relationship does not hold good. So this activity can be said also as a verification of Ohm's law. Okay, right. Or you can, the question can be asked just like that. Show that the ratio of V by I is constant for a conductor. Okay, children. So this is about Ohm's law. And then limitation of Ohm's law is, this is applicable only at constant temperature. Now, whenever V is equal to IR, or V is proportional to I, then a graph drawn between V and I must be a straight line passing through the origin. So it should be a straight line passing through the origin. Can you observe that? So taking voltage on x-axis and current on y-axis, you can see that a graph is a straight line passing through the origin because these two are proportional. So such resistors we call as ohmic resistors. What we call those resistors are ohmic resistors. That means whatever material you are taking, that offers a resistance, and those resistors what we call as ohmic resistors if the graph between V and I is a straight line passing through the origin. And a graph VI characteristics we can also call as for non-ohmic resistors will be of this kind. Right? These are non-ohmic resistors. Non-ohmic resistors. That means it is not going to be a straight line, but rather it is a curve. Okay. Example, you can take semiconductors, P-N diode, right? So these are the ohmic and non-ohmic resistors. If difference is asked, you can say that the resistors which obey Ohm's law are called ohmic resistors, first point. And obviously the other side you will write which do not obey Ohm's law are non-ohmic resistors. And the second point, you can say that at constant temperature V and I are proportional. In the second case, second one, you will be writing V and I are not proportional. Third one, almost all metals are ohmic resistors, and here semiconductor devices are non-ohmic resistors. This is how you can write the difference between ohmic and non-ohmic resistors. Okay, children? So take a screenshot of this one. So ohmic and non-ohmic resistors of Ohm's law, verification of Ohm's law. So this is there in your textbook. You can also go through there. So this is all for today.